Legendary TV actor known for Mission Impossible and Star Trek, dead at 97, the world of television has lost one of its true legends. The actor, whose unmistakable voice, quiet charisma, and commanding screen presence helped define multiple generations of classic television, has passed away at the age of 97. Known best for his unforgettable roles in Mission Impossible and Star Trek, his career spanned over 6 decades, a remarkable testament to both talent and endurance in an ever-changing industry. His passing marks the end of an era for fans of classic sci-fi and espionage dramas alike. For many, he wasn't just an actor, he was the steady presence behind some of TV's most iconic characters. Whether he was outsmarting villains in Mission Impossible or exploring strange new worlds aboard a Federation starship, he brought intelligence, warmth, and gravitas to every role. From stage roots to screen greatness. Before becoming a household name, this legendary actor's journey began far from Hollywood. Born in the late 1920s, he grew up during the Great Depression, an era that shaped his sense of discipline and humility. Early on, he showed a passion for performance, studying drama at a time when television was still in its infancy. His early work was on stage, where he developed the craft and precision that would later become his trademarks. Stage acting demanded control of the voice, the body, the emotion, and he brought all of that to his early television work. His first screen roles came in the 1950s, when anthology dramas and live television plays were the proving grounds for serious actors. He quickly stood out for his deep, measured delivery and ability to convey inner complexity even in brief appearances. It was this versatility that caught the attention of casting directors and producers who were seeking actors who could bring both intellect and emotion to genre television, something that would define his most famous roles. The Mission Impossible years, a masterclass in cool. In the mid-1960s, he joined the cast of Mission Impossible, the CBS espionage series that redefined the spy genre for American audiences. Long before Tom Cruise made it a blockbuster film franchise, the show was a weekly showcase of intricate plots, daring disguises, and psychological tension, and he was at its core. Playing one of the key members of the Impossible Missions Force IMF, he embodied calm professionalism. His character wasn't loud or flashy. Instead, he exuded quiet authority. Every plan, every deception, every last-minute save felt more believable because he was the one executing it. He gave the IMF team a moral anchor, the rare kind of performer who could project empathy even while manipulating a mark. In a show filled with deception, he gave audiences something solid to trust. The role brought him mainstream fame and multiple award nominations, but what made it special was the teamwork behind it. He was known on set as a consummate professional, always prepared, never indulgent, and always generous to younger actors. He once said in an interview that the key to Mission Impossible's success wasn't the gadgets or the twists, but the belief that intelligence could win the day. "We weren't superheroes," he said. "We were smart people doing smart things, and that's what made it work." Star Trek, the logical legacy. If Mission Impossible made him a household name, Star Trek made him an icon. When he first appeared in the Star Trek franchise, it was at a time when science fiction on television was still a niche interest. But his presence helped elevate the show's vision. His portrayal of complex, intellectually driven characters, often walking the line between emotion and reason, became a perfect fit for Star Trek's thematic DNA. For many fans, he will forever be remembered for his role as the half-human, half-Vulcan science officer Mr. Spock, the character that made Leonard Nimoy famous. But what's less remembered by casual viewers is how much this actor contributed to shaping the franchise's early ethos. Before Nimoy's Spock became a household name, this actor appeared in Star Trek's original pilot, The Cage, as a different kind of character, the ship's first officer, known simply as Number One. He was among the first to help define what Star Trek leadership looked like: logical, composed, curious, and quietly defiant of limitations. Later, as Star Trek grew into a global phenomenon, he maintained a deep affection for the franchise, frequently appearing at conventions and interviews, reflecting on its cultural impact. He often said that Star Trek wasn't just science fiction, it was a moral framework for the future. Star Trek asked who we are when we have all the power in the universe, he once said. That question never stops being relevant. A voice that defined generations. Even after leaving the spotlight of Mission Impossible and Star Trek, his presence never faded. His distinctive voice, calm, resonant, and wise, became a defining feature of his later career. He narrated documentaries, lent his voice to animated shows, and even appeared in video games. introducing himself to entirely new generations of fans. His narration work included everything from historical series to space documentaries, and he brought the same gravitas to all of them. There was something uniquely comforting about hearing his voice, the perfect blend of authority and kindness. In the 1980s and 1990s, as nostalgia for the golden age of television grew, he became one of those rare actors who could appear in interviews without bitterness or ego. He was proud of his work, but humble about its legacy. "People still come up to me about Mission Impossible," he said in a 1998 interview. "They tell me they grew up watching it with their parents. That's the best kind of compliment, when something you did connects families across generations." The man behind the legend. Off-screen, he was as thoughtful and private as his on-screen persona suggested. He was married for over 5 decades to his beloved wife, and they raised children together who often described him as gentle but firm. Unlike many Hollywood stars, he avoided scandal and spectacle. He preferred quiet hobbies, reading, photography, and playing piano. Friends and colleagues remember him as a listener, the kind of man who didn't need to dominate a room to fill it with presence. He was also deeply interested in education and science outreach, often appearing at NASA events or supporting scholarships for young actors and engineers alike. In one memorable instance, he visited the Jet Propulsion Laboratory during the Voyager missions, remarking, "This is Star Trek made real." Honors, tributes, and an enduring impact. As news of his passing spreads, tributes have poured in from across Hollywood and the science fiction community. Actors who grew up watching him and later worked alongside him have expressed deep gratitude for his influence. William Shatner called him a true gentleman of the screen, thoughtful, disciplined, and endlessly curious. Tom Cruise, who carries the Mission Impossible torch today, wrote that the spirit of the original IMF will always be his. Every mission begins with his legacy. Paramount Television issued a statement saying, "He embodied everything that made classic television timeless: integrity, intelligence, and imagination." His work continues to inspire storytellers and dreamers around the world. Fans have taken to social media to share memories of meeting him at conventions, noting how patient and kind he always was. One fan wrote, "He looked at you when you spoke, really looked at you. That's rare, even off-screen." The final mission. At 97, he lived a life fuller than most, a life defined not just by fame, but by purpose. His characters represented the best of human potential: curiosity, logic, compassion, and resilience. Whether in a spaceship orbiting a strange world or in a secret government mission, he always played people who believed in humanity's capacity to do better. In that sense, his legacy feels deeply relevant today. His work reminds us that television, when done right, isn't just entertainment. It's a reflection of who we are and who we hope to become. As the credits roll on a career that helped shape the very language of TV storytelling, it's fitting to remember his own words from a late-life interview. "Greater than if people remember me for making them think, even a little, then I did my job right." He did more than that. He made generations